The two Electrolux 345s are done and ready to show you what they look like now. And cool, what a learning curve this has been. They are both quite tricky, but very, very simple once you get, once you've done one, the second one is really simple. Let me show you how they came out and what they look, sound and perform like now. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? This isn't really a question of one of these was the one from the job lot and one of these was one that I had already, because it's not quite that simple. They are now a really good one and as good as it's going to be one. One of them is mine, this one of them isn't, this one. So we'll show you, we shall do guess first, we shall show you the one that is not quite so pretty. Although when I say not quite as pretty, it's still not too bad. It's basically all the second best parts from both of them. So the front, as you can see, does have a fair few chips. And fortunately, and another collector found this out roughly when I did. We laughed. Can't take this bit off. This is glued all around to the top of the bag door. Look, you think you can take it off, but you can't. And yeah, obviously it's been glued, it's got a chip, it's a bit tatty. Not a lot you can do about that. Sort of getting very lucky. Which is a shame really, because the rest of the machine, the plastics, are in very good order. Not really scratched up, scuffed up, bashed up in any way. Moving down to the filter, this is the second best filter cover, and that all the plastic look is starting to disappear. Bit of a shame. You can't notice it too much, but you know it is. Underneath we have a filter, and then one of the big problems with these machines, taking off the top part. As you may notice, it is not now held together with nice rivets. Oh no, one broke completely trying to drill out a rivet. That was painful. And the rest are okay, but they are little screws and nuts. That's because you can't rivet them back on without obviously the special Electrolux gun, which is probably went into a skip in Luton many decades ago. I tried on my one and broke another tab. So they got little nuts and bolts, and it ignited a bit of a discussion about, do you take the top off or not? And I am on the fence, because if your machine's not too dirty, no, you can probably get away with, this whole back bit comes out, this front bit comes off. You can wash it, you just got to dry it utterly thoroughly, because it's all hollow inside here. But if you if your second switch rod is not fab, you've got to take it out, because you can polish the rod basically and make it a lot smoother. Obviously many of them have been off before, so you could even improve by drilling out crappy old rivets and replacing them with nice little nuts and bolts. Not very much more I can say about that, because it did annoy me a little bit, but I think it has to be done. It has to be done on a really boggy machine, but if I got another Minter that's never been apart before, I would probably try and refurbish it without doing any of that. That's the reflection. If it's been a waxer, this bit's textured. So yeah, be very careful taking the top off. At the back, well, these are the second best foot switches. They are both missing a tab, which is why they're a bit floppity, but they work okay, and one has a chip. You can buy these. I've seen them on eBay, but I'm not going to. They're fine as they are. At the back, it has the It has the better of the two rear covers. Obviously, they've all been smashed by a plug or been stood up on the plug at some point, which is a bit of a shame. Wheels, very good, very nice. Cord rewinder, tension up a treat. They are quite simple once you get into them. As It's really very cool indeed. And underneath we have our single rear wheel, front wheel even, and the base. Very, very good. This one is mine. And as you can see, it has the better of the front covers. Look, it's only got one little chip, but that comes at the cost of the whole rest of it being in worse condition than that. I haven't machine polished it. I probably won't, but could. I didn't have the time to do it, and didn't think it needed it. When it's down, it looks okay. But yeah, so this is in a bit more shabby condition than this, but it's got a better top plate. What do you do? It's a dilemma, isn't it, folks? What I also have is this was an earlier, well, one of them was an earlier machine. So it has, look, a very early, they're all loose ball bearings in there. I had to grease them all in to sit them in. And yeah, it's got a swivel front caster, which I thought would be quite good, but I'm not actually sure if I prefer it or not. And then bar that, it's got the better of all the tyres. It's got the non-broken switches. It has the lovely Sainsbury's plug, ever-ready plug that is, but with the Sainsbury's branding. And the Corby one isn't bad. It's not quite as strong as this one, but I did this one second. So you can basically you take the plug back off and twist it all internally. It'll hold itself. You've got to just put another couple of winds of tension on, and then it's okay. But I probably won't. This is the better of the two top covers, but is the one with the broken tab. And I did try to glue it back on, but it's not gluable plastic, and it then goes under a bit of bending going into here, so it's fine. Filter out, and then on mine it's even worse. And again, this is actually the second best top cover because of this, because I want to sell this. I don't want to completely give somebody a load of rubbish, whereas I don't fully care for my own machine. I really snapped off the connector. That white residue is actually glue, where I just had to glue this top bit down onto the vinyl. I felt really bad doing it, but there isn't really another way. On this one, there's just enough material for a washer. On this there isn't, but for my little use, it will be okay. So there are the units. What comes when you get two identical machines and you can make one really good one out of two. But as you may notice, we are using used filters just because I put them through the wash and they came out okay. You could happily, they just smell of my washing stuff. They are perfectly clean. They are, that's a bit stained. You would be alright, but for like $4.99 and free postage, got it. The Evil Bay. And rip open a nice genuine pack of filters, although I thought it would actually come with two of those. That's a bit of a shame, but I say a shame. Look, brand new, genuine filters. So, because this is my machine, look, mine's got a crack in it as well. I just noticed from the sunlight. Oh my goodness! I never know which way to do these. I think it's with that bit there to bounce the airflow off as it comes. Oh look, it's floating as it comes out of the machine. So you can have the new post motor filter. You can then have the best of the washed ones, and somebody else can replace you. I have two spare filters. Fab. Let's put those back in there. No, wait, wrong way round. I'm replacing both of it. It's the pre-motor filter that needs to be changed. My apologies, folks. So there we go. I have a spare post, and then because there was only one. Oh my god! I've got to take this out. Oh, this is not fun. Oh, I've already moved. Ow! Bit me. This is the thing I hate about these machines, getting it in. Oh, not much better either. There's probably a really simple way of doing it, but mine isn't, and it's caught. Oh, I'm glad we're only doing one of these. You can see why these never ever got changed. It's those clips. These sit in just behind that lip. by these big plastic clips, and they're like sodular to get out. Also, I can tell you why I chose the body that I did, because this body is just a bit less tarnished. I'm not taking that out. It's just less tarnished inside than this one. It's very shiny. So we'll take out the again. It's been washed, thoroughly decent. You'd be happy with that. In fact, I think I might just keep that for now. But we have Moat Filtray. It's obviously a late part because they went European on it. Oh, now we're going to try and drop this back in without the seal coming off. Excellent. Then we can put it was a new bag. I may have used this a couple of times. I love using them. They're so nice. And there we have the new consumables. I won't buy it a new pre-motor filter. It's not needed. Thought there was. It says 4 filters. Packet contains 4 filters, and I assumed that meant 2 straight pairs. Must mean that Electrolux were aware that their motors don't blow out some carbon dust. Every twin turbo this era, 80s, 90s, has always been covered in carbon dust. And the fact there's only 1 pre-motor filter but 3 post-motor filters sort of reinforces that theory. Right, let's go find the tools. The tools are more of a tale of 2 halves than the machines themselves, because obviously we cannot ignore the fact that we have one genuine original hose which is airtight, because I fixed it quite a while ago now actually, so haven't had to touch this. God, unfold. And this, which is I think it might be genuine, it might be patent, I don't know, but it's certainly a black plastic crush-proof hose rather than a woven fabric one. Then we have one very nice wand and one not quite so decent wand. Floor tools, we have, this is actually the second best one, with all the corners being a little bit grubby and broken, but this is the best one. This one is mint. Absolutely, completely not a mark on it. So we can have our 2 machines with their 2 toolkits. In fact, let's stick with my one. Let's put this one to one side for now. We'll do my one first. I actually also have the very mint dusting brush for mine, and I have a few crevice tools, but this one is the one for it. And there is also a brown crevice tool brush somewhere, but I don't know where that is. Get this plugged in and show you it working. The one which I am going to keep. So much airflow. It can hold up the woven heavy hose all by itself. However, the motor is perhaps a tad more vibraty than I would like. It's even more apparent when you directly compare it to what's going to be the other one, which has a much nicer motor. Granted, the hose isn't quite as nice. But oodles of suction, oodles of airflow, and a much nicer wind down. So I think I've inadvertently, hopefully, put the worst motor in that one. I do have another motor, so in theory, one day I might swap them out. And I've also got this, which is all the leftovers because I had a complete back unit with motor and core rerime. So here is, that's the inner motor housing. Look, for some reason I have 4 brown crevice tools. These 2 are the best, so they can sit with that, they can go there. I had to buy a whole new front piece from eBay because I tore, it's long gone now, the little rubber plunger that works all of this gubbins. So I had to buy a whole new front piece. Screws left over from the other back bit. I'll keep that because that's a spare filter. We have the cable rewind, a set of rear wheels, the brushes, and this is the inner part of one of the heads, look. And as you can see, the whole front piece has got that sort of rot on it, which is why I went for the one with the corners nibbled, although just because it's less perished than this. Yeah, and with the back piece, a whole plethora of stuff. So that can all go to a good home or go in the bin. I shall put the feelers out to see if anybody needs any of it. But I think the operation has been successful, and I now have a lovely Electrolux Z345 to add to my collection. I'm going to pass on the other one to somebody else because they make great cleaners. They're definitely quite well sought after. The only problem is they don't survive postage, which I am dreading. Bit of a pain really, and it stopped me from getting a couple of cleaners because you've got to post the flipping things and they smash. But that's a problem for another day. So thank you very much for watching this episode with these. I hope you've enjoyed. There will be more Electrolux 300 series content coming because I have a 330 and I have something else. So now that I've broken my 345 300 series cherry with this lot, the rest aren't going to seem too bad. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.